Okay, we're going. We look good. We're good to go.
Oh boy.
Yeah, what a win to start with. Jesus.
Um, well, I'll be completely honest with you with how much I've forgotten how to play this rhythm too.
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
Okay.
it's been a while.
So I know that 7.5 is 10.5, so or 7.5. So I'm gonna go here. Needs a little overpower, and it's uphill, so I'm gonna give it a lot of extra.
What's up, Ollie? Welcome, man. Ooh, that was close. I'm gonna have to just bomb this because I got my
But yeah, this is the rough bump hole.
yep. I will probably play it differently, but
Well, that's fine. I will use logic and reason, and you can just use the F it method. Call out people as they join the stream, so I can say hello.
all right. Well, we got one so far. Well, we got four watching. One is commented.
Oh, cool. Make sure they subscribe, man. Alright, let's see here. I'm on B52. Oh, man. Do you see that?
I do.
That is such crap. So I'm going to go 2 up and 2 right. Because I think any more than that, I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to go the full 9.1. And I'm going to give it a little, like right here. Let's see what that does. That's a putt.
Yeah, it works. Whatever. I'm gonna play it differently.
I'd rather be a yard short than like put a bar too much top spin and blast it over the edge.
Hey, Ollie, can you hear everything all right? I'm gonna play the hill.
Dude, you know what I just remembered?
What's that?
These are the lottery hole shootouts.
Oh yeah.
People are gonna say, "How do you play 2 or 10?" And I'm be like, "I don't know. I don't know. Ask Adrian." There you go. Come back. Oh, that's in.
It might be.
That's in. That's in the hole.
Oh.
Oh. Nice shot, dude. Nice shot. So, I guess we can get a round or two into it, and then
we'll start picking topics here. What's up, KNG Lenny? Thanks for watching, man. Appreciate it. Now I will play this with 3 and 3. Line it up right about here. I hate this hole. No, I actually love this hole. It's really cool to get this one to work.
Oh, you're a liar. I hate this tour. Why do I have this feeling I'm gonna lose a handful of matches and then never max it again?
Because it's Tour 10. Oh yeah, that was not enough. Not enough at all.
I'll be that guy that has 4,900 trophies for the rest of my career.
Ollie, this hole is tough to say the least, man. But I gotta kind of get back into the feel of Tour 10 to know where I want to land.
6.2. So I think I'm going 5 right and like 3 up.
So you played a little differently.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how
What's
I
up, George?
played because we
Welcome,
had a
man.
tournament here a little while ago. 6.3 is 4.5, so I'm going to go right here. And I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to see what this does.
It should come in nicely.
Well,
It didn't quite.
I don't know.
It didn't quite come high enough, but it definitely will come in nicely.
Oh, nice. Yeah, no, there's certain adjustments that I made in the tournament. I think, what was that, like 4 or 5 tournaments ago? It was a Tour 10 tournament?
George, we are on Discord. Hopefully the next stream that I do will be on OBS, and I can all the sound quality and everything will be
Better?
well. I think the sound quality is okay right now. I just think it'll be a little bit easier when I do it on my computer.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I'm going to try to jack this one out.
You're crazy. It's not gonna work.
Because if I'm there, and I go 7, and that's 9.8, putting a little extra love on it, like this.
4.
Think I'm gonna hit that tree?
I don't know. Probably.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna just play it. I'm gonna play it smart.
Thanks, Dick. Well, no. You gotta remember, we're here to teach people things, so I'm gonna show them how to play a really long-ass bunker shot. Because I am pretty sure that lots of people end up in that bunker.
Yeah, because they get tempted to go for it.
Yes. See, I wasn't really going for it. I was just trying to put myself in trouble on purpose.
Sounds fine. What tour do you think will be next for rookies tournaments?
Well, they just did what? They just did, which ones did they just do? Like 6 and 11 or whatever?
Yeah, it seems like that was it. 6 and 11.
Think I can make this?
I bet we'll have another, Tour 2-7 tournament soon.
I'm gonna play like the full 5. I'm gonna jack it out here.
Nice shot, dude. Nice shot. Dude, if that goes in the hole. Oh.
Yeah, I don't.
Only just opened 5. Nice, George. Is there anything in particular that you've been struggling with?
Sitting right on top. Ask me that again, dude.
George just opened Tour 5. I asked him if there was anything in particular that he's struggling with at the moment.
Okay.
Okay, so on this shot, I'm going to do a full backspin. Try to imagine where the wind is going to push that second bounce to. And then to do, even though it's just a mid or something distance, I'm going to do a full adjustment. Oh, and hit it great. Oh, well.
It'll still go in because you're Spencer.
I think that would have been pretty nice otherwise.
Yeah, no, hole high. So let me... Oops. Should be okay.
Yeah, honestly, George, there really is no reason to spend a lot of money at all in the lower tours. It's not necessary. If you watch, you know, like my little road to glory, you can get all your balls from chests and tournaments. And Artie, what are you doing? Artie's in here, dude. Oh, damn! This is a crap wind.
Yeah, that's okay.
Adjust for 12.7. Good one to discuss. Yeah, I agree. This is a tough one. Sean, Tour 10 is unforgiving, especially like this one. This is a very unforgiving tour.
Yeah, no, I mean, just the fact that I made it over the chasm, I'm like patting myself on the back.
Everything that Artie is saying is absolutely correct. And it has to do with if you overpower and put your ball into this little crevice here, the wind adjustment goes wacky on this game. So I'm going to play it very similarly to Geoffrey. I'm going to kind of try to come in back down the hill. I'm going to give myself plenty of room. And then I'm going to go with what Artie said and try it. He said adjust for 12.
Yeah, you just have to remember, like, you cannot put your second bounce on the fringe in headwind because it will go yards short of where you put it. You have to adjust it ahead. See, that's a great shot. That one is going to be close, if not go in. Close, yeah.
It was close. Mainly your goal on this hole with headwind is to just get over the damn thing, because generally a lot of the times with headwind, your opponent's going to go out of bounds. Lenny asks if you guys are taking questions. I'd like to learn how to make ball guide adjustments for wind, not rings, but how much to play for wind after the first bounce. Lenny, that's a lot of the. Okay, so this is kind of a good example, especially with the driver. Basically, the farther out you are, the more pronounced what you're talking about is. This is also a strange hole, but normally with headwind, I would just probably use all my topspin. With this amount of wind, I'm going to go ahead and go with 3. And then I just try to envision a line that the 8.6 is going to push my ball guide after the first bounce.
Yep. The way to kind of describe that is that if there's wind behind you, if you have a tailwind, your shot is going to fly lower and the bounces are going to be longer. Okay, that's because you have the nice shot, Spencer.
Thanks, man.
That's because you have the wind behind you, so it's going to stretch out your shot. So even though the ball guide says it's going to the hole, in a tailwind, it will go beyond the hole. It's the exact opposite in a. It's the exact opposite in a. Here, I'm going to try something different, just because I can. I gotta go way down.
So if you hit this right, what do you and I'll let you take it first.
I don't know if this is going to be right or not. It's
damn it. Oh. Wow, yeah, it's a downhill hole. It's all screwy.
Yeah. So basically the biggest thing is just watching people go too far.
Geoffrey missed the shot. Okay.
What?
Missed the shot. Okay.
The biggest thing is in tailwind. I see a lot of people go too far, and in headwind they come up short. And like I said, you have tailwind. You have tailwind that will stretch out your shot, and then headwind that will stop your shot. So what you have to do is you have to kind of account for that. You have to know that in a headwind, your bounces, like your ball flight is going to be higher and your bounces are going to be shorter. So you got to kind of imagine going a little beyond the hole, and then like do all your settings and then scoot your shot a little past the hole and then adjust your wind, and that will account for those shorter bounces. Okay. And in a tailwind, set it up like you're going to, and then you have to scoot it back just a little bit and then adjust your wind, because your shot's going to be stretched out. So a lot of people struggle with that, I think. Ah, crap.
Okay, so go ahead and play your shot. I'm going to tell you what they said. So Lenny said, so it's a feel thing, learn by doing, and I agree a lot with that statement. Is a lot of this, you're not going to, unless you do it, it's not going to make total sense. But I do think that it's helpful, at least when you do watch other people, because I used to watch other people a lot. I do think that is helpful to at least give you an idea of what you need to be trying.
I'll try this shot.
Yeah, that should come in nicely. The way that Geoffrey played that is the way that you would probably win this hole most of the time. Because generally your opponent's not going to be much closer if they try to do it this way, down here. I'm going to try it on the other side. This one's just something that's really easy to over adjust for. Yep, too much. Lenny, if there is a way to account for it mathematically, I have not figured that out yet. I think that a lot of the second bounce stuff is feel, just because the different strengths of wind affect it differently every single time. And how far out you are, like club distance wise, like if you're at mid, or max, that has a big play on what's going to happen. Yay! We can bomb the crap out of it. I don't even think you. Yeah, I don't even think you need anything but a Titan, dude. Any Geoffrey.
Yep.
I'll let you take your shot and then I'll tell you. Brandy, we're not going to go down the middle. Why would you go down the middle?
This one's going to suck.
Oh, it's close though. Yeah, sidewind acts. Yeah, it'll curl the crap out of your ball. If that's kind of what you're asking. Stop! Wow! Okay, so Geoffrey, are you ready?
Yeah.
He says any relationship or ratio in length of first, second, third bounce, low level clubs lack ball guide.
Hang on. I'm gonna slide that one about here. Oops. Is there any relation to what? Are you kidding me? Oh gosh.
Ooh.
Any relation to what? I'm trying to understand the question.
In relationship or ratio in the length of first, second, or third bounce, low level clubs lack ball guide. George, could you rephrase it? Actually, yeah, I'm interested too. I'm not quite.
Okay, so I think low level clubs versus high level clubs, does it make a difference in the actual length, the distance of the bounce? The answer would be no. It's just with higher level clubs you can see more of where your ball is going because the ball guide is better, but it doesn't actually make a difference. The only thing that makes a difference is the wind, headwind versus sidewind versus tailwind.
And then
how much is your shot being stretched out or short?
Lenny was asking, is sidewind kind of like a play for curl? And I said yeah, because I'm assuming that you mean by that, is it going to kind of add curl to the ball? And yeah. whatever direction, yeah, the sidewind is going, it's kind of going to curl in that direction, as if you were adding curl to it. Now, if you add curl to it...
Yeah. I'm just saying, you have to imagine it like if you were to draw a straight line and then blow 10 miles an hour wind from the right, in the air, that ball is not going to fly straight. It's going to curl to the left. So you have to account for that. So just because you put some curl and it's going to the hole, you have to adjust your settings basically to account for the reality that it's not going to fly in that straight line. You've got to make it go a little bit extra against the wind.
Are you going to underpower this shot?
Huh?
Are you going... I'm just going to watch.
Right here, and then a little left. Didn't want to hit it great, but... try to catch that slope and feed it down. Because they changed the hole, you don't really need to underpower it, but you definitely don't need any overpower. I think it plays pretty true. On this one, the only wind that really affects it, in my opinion, is headwind. You have to make sure that you account for your shot going short. So you got to play a little past the hole. But I don't know. Like, I'm trying to make the wind thing make sense. Whatever direction the wind is blowing, your ball is going to go extra distance in that direction. So if you have wind blowing directly in your face from right to left, you're going to end up short left. That's just how it works. So you have to account for that. Nice shot.
Thanks. Okay, so there's a couple more questions here. Sandy, also welcome. Glad you can join. Okay, so Ollie's question is, and I don't fully understand this, he says, how much curl do you add for 3 to 5, or 3 versus 5 rings of curl? Do you understand that?
Ask me one more time.
It says, how much curl do you add for 3 versus 5 rings of curl? If you want just some curl.
If you want just some curl, that's a play by feel, to be honest with you. I play that by feel. Like, if I need to get, like, let's say I think a good example was like you're stuck behind a tree.
No. All right, Ollie.
So, like, let's say you're stuck behind a tree, and so as much as you can get it, you can't curl it around enough. Knowing how much kind of curl to add to the shot to bend it around that tree, that's kind of a learned thing. I don't have a science for it, and a lot of what I do is a guesstimate. I just know. I guess I just know that I've done too much and I've done too little, so there's kind of a ballpark idea or thought that I use. That's gonna go in. So there's not really an exact science to it that I have. Do you have anything that you can kind of like? Do you understand what he's saying there, Spence?
Well, okay, so like, I think I kind of understand what he's saying. Like, whenever I was doing curl, like if you're trying to curl a shot to a hole or curl a shot to a specific area, is that what you're saying, that you overdo the amount of curl that you need? A lot of that I have found, I guess kind of like what Geoffrey said, is a lot of it's just playing and getting a feel for what's actually needed and what's not needed. He said, if I find I need to adjust for 3 rings rather than put the guide in low elevation by adding curl.
I mean, all in all, if you are needing to add a little curl to get around an object.
Oh crap, I didn't mean to hit that in.
That's trial and error. That's just trial and error. So if you got a tree in your way and you can't line up to the hole, like your spin adjustments and all that can't get to the hole, and you need to add a little curl to it to like try to get around that tree.
Holy crap. Geoffrey, you have to go for this. You have to pull out a berserker.
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, you just kind of gotta wing it. You know what I mean? You just gotta wing it, I think, in my opinion.
No! What the crap is that?
kidding me?
That's all right. I'm going for it too. I have to. This is too great.
I thought I was gonna be okay there.
Okay, I'm gonna do a reverse hook shot here.
I don't even think I aimed that one right. I was trying to think about how much curl you would need to get around a tree, and so I put too much freaking curl on it.
No! Scruffy can't make it.
Huh. Interesting.
Well, I was a little off on my hook adjustment.
Fat headwind. I'm gonna use a football because I hate them. How much is 12? 12.6 is what, 9? So if I want to go right there, I'll go right there, and I'll go right here.
Uh-oh. It made it.
Yeah, I know it'll be okay. You just got to cut the corner. And that's right, you always have to use right curl on it, because if you don't use any right curl, it will kick to the left and you'll be in trouble, so.
Okay, I have to at least try and go for this, but remind me to miss it if I don't make this.
Remind you to miss it. You're just batting 1,000 on the dickhead scale today. You're gonna have to remind me not to beat you. Thanks.
You're ridiculous.
So, I mean, basically with tailwind, headwind, sidewind, we can show you how to make those little micro adjustments to account for the wind. But the biggest thing, as far as curl, like I said, getting around a tree or trying to, you know, like if you're landing and you've got full side spin, but you got to not land in a bunker, of course, so you need that extra amount of curl to kind of bump you that extra 2 or 3 yards over to get to the hole. That is really just playing by feel. That's really playing by feel. It's a lot of playing by feel.
So Kenny said that I think it was the shot that you just took, Geoffrey. He says, "See, that blows my mind. The landing zone looked a lot further than 12 wind past the end of your overpowered landing zone." So what are you saying, that Geoffrey's shot that he just took, that did not look like he did adjusted for 12 in wind?
Come on, get close.
Yeah, I do, Michael. I find that it's definitely best to go slightly to the right because of how this is so badly sloped.
Yeah.
With that specific shot that I just taught. Yeah, micro adjustments account for the effects of the bounce directions. Yeah, yes, George. And actually, pretty much no matter what wind it is, there will be some effect to the second bounce. Now, obviously, in the lower tours with like less winds and that kind of thing, they're not nearly as pronounced, and it's almost like you can just make an adjustment and you'll get it to drop. That's not usually the problem. But in higher winds, when the winds they definitely can show like how severely they affect the second bounce.
Yeah. Really, we had to get this one with extra power balls.
Kenny, or sorry, I keep calling you Kenny because it says KNG Lenny, which makes me want to call you Kenny. Yeah, I would say that that may be partially true, because when you're in a full overpower with a berserker, the ball is going to land quite a bit farther than you would think. And it has to do with how long the ball's been in the air. The wind has a significant more effect. Like, okay, so tailwinds are particularly funny. Tailwinds are particularly funny that way, and like trying to blast it with like 12-mile-an-hour tailwind, like with the driver, it's gonna go a lot farther than. So like, okay, so here's a good example of that. If we're gonna call the outside ring 10, right now with 12, I would estimate this would land over here, to be honest with you, which looks a hell of a lot further. Here, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna land this here. I'm telling you that even though 12 even though we think 12 would normally be right about here, if I put my ball here, I think it's gonna be way over here. So let's go ahead and take a look.
Just hit totally regular and watch what the wind does to it.
Yeah, so it landed way the hell out there.
Way out there.
And it has to do with the longer the ball is in the air, the less that those ring values hold. Like they become less and less and less the longer that the ball is in the air.
Yeah.
And that happens with everything. So like when you're taking berserker shots, you're like.
There's that one tour that has the big island bounce, and a lot of people miss the island because they don't realize that hitting to the island is uphill. Okay, and then you've got, you should go for that rock bounce shot that the dude did, and it landed. I think it was Vikram. Remember, and it landed all the way on the green.
I'm just gonna go for this one. Actually, I'm sorry, I can't do this on Scruffy. I don't have enough berserkers.
But there's the one drive where that island is elevated, and then you also have the second shot when you hit the island is extremely downhill. And so a lot of people, they just blast way past it because they don't play the elevation. And you got to realize that the longer that your ball is in the air, the more it affects your ring. So you might adjust for 10 rings with your sniper for 10 mile per hour, but if you
are you gonna try the same thing?
Hitting off of a super slope, then you're gonna have a problem.
Geoffrey, you need like a hook shot to do this.
I don't know. I haven't tried it, bro.
It's been a while since you played this one. I'm just kidding, man.
Well, usually I just lay that short. I haven't tried to bounce over it ever before, so.
So you're actually able to do it again. So I'm just gonna lay up. Actually, I really want to show him a shot from here. So if you want to do it again, that would be sweet. This is a perfect hole to show something crazy.
Yeah, well, I guess I can try for it, but I kind of want to put one in play now.
Yeah, lots of micro adjustments here, like Artie just said. Ollie, you actually don't, like, I don't know if you've ever watched me practicing new holes, on stream, but what I will do, you actually don't necessarily need to know. There I can show you ways to look for high second bounces, so that you can get.
I'll go for it.
You're gonna go for it.
1, 2, 3.
No. Okay. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Do what you're doing.
I'm just gonna slap it out there, man.
Holy crap, this is going to be awesome.
Oh, it was close to awesome.
That would have been so cool.
was also close to oblivion.
Okay, so this is a perfect example. First off, we're not even at max. Max is way over here, okay? The only thing is with Tailwind, our over adjustment is not going to be quite as severe. But this one has to do with, and if you're in this game, it happens almost anywhere in this game, but if you ever have this, a cliff, a little gap, something like that, the wind seems to do really strange things here. So if we're going to call this 9.8, I'm going to adjust 12, 13, 14. Unfortunately, I might be wrong because it was Tailwind. No, I wasn't wrong.
No, you're fine. You see what it did there?
Yep.
You adjusted an extra like 3.5 miles per hour, and it just, once you got over the water, it just chucked your ball even farther.
So there's things that you can look for, just like with that high second bounce thing that you were talking about, Ollie. There is a way that you can actually very easily look for if you're going to have that effect on the ball, if it's going to like severely affect your second bounce and whatnot. Geoffrey's going to get a shot at this. Shit, I bet that was loud. I bet that was really loud on stream.
No, this is fine.
I meant on stream. I just dropped my phone.
Remember, don't win.
Don't win? Why not?
Because I'm going to try to hold this.
That's a giant micro adjustment there. And he got headwind, so this is going to even be more severe. This adjustment is going to be absolutely insane.
So I'm going to gauge it. So I'm going to go right here. I'm going to go full to the right because to the best of my ability, I want my ball guide line to be in the same direction as the wind, okay? So I'm going to actually scoot this like up here, like this. And now I'm going to adjust 9.6, which will be about right here.
See, my guess is this.
It might still be short, or it might be okay. Yeah, still a little short. So I needed to do another mile per hour in wind, but
it wasn't bad though.
Let's see, if I didn't make that micro adjustment where I actually lined up my shot what looks like 2 yards past the hole, that ball would have landed in the middle of the green and I would have had a 10-yard putt, you know?
Artie's drunk. Artie, are you drunk?
Artie's drunk.
I'm pretty sure.
He's dancing with Buddha right now, huh? All right.
Okay, I will also... So this is another severely downhill hole. One of the things that... What you got to know with any adjustment is whenever you're pulling back, the severity of downhill or the severity of how much the wind is going to be affecting it is less because you're pulling it out of the air the longer you pull this back, if that makes any sense. With this kind of a shot, I'm going to go with 4 and 1 to the left. It's always good to try and stay left on this hole. I'm also going to envision that 6 is going to shove me towards the hole, and then I'm going to adjust for about 9.
That should be a pretty good shot.
Wasn't bad. I probably could have used 2 to the left. I hit a little bit high on the side that I usually play, but so basically what I'm trying to say is if we had
like 9 on that one, right?
I just did like 9 on this one, so you're gonna have to just okay, but it's gonna be less because you're pulling back even farther than I do.
Yeah, so you see, watch right here. So I'm adjusting like right here, but I'm gonna pull this back. I'm probably gonna do like 10.5. I'm gonna add 2 yards. So I'm gonna go, there's 5.
It was a little more than 5.
I'm gonna go like a flat 10.5. So I added like 2 mile per hour. Yeah. Instead of 8.5, I should have adjusted like 10.
This all sounds like PhD Zach's ball guide comparison elongation doctoral thesis. That was an epic statement, George. That was epic. Artie, come back. I need to ask you something. Yeah, and I agree with Jonathan. The more that you hear, the more that it makes sense. That's why I used to watch streaming a lot. And a lot of this was like, you know, I don't know. It kind of didn't make sense. And then a lot of it was just like playing things over and over again and finally getting an, you know, like a great feel for how it was going to work.
A lot of people make mistakes on this hole.
What are you going to do?
I'm gonna adjust 10.8 and go for it.
Yeah, Lenny, I on that last hole, yeah, and that the reason is it has a lot to do with the knowledge of the holes and how badly they affect like that hole specifically as it's downhill, and it has really like funny landing zones, and the way that where you're trying to hit on the green just doesn't work out. Like if you don't hit exactly where you want to hit, weird things happen to the ball. Yeah, so there's a lot going on that hole. A lot. You could talk a lot about that hole. One of the things that I always like to do, so for me, I've gotten myself to the point of where I can pull this out and envision that I'm going to hit right about here. And I like to look and see where I think I'm going to hit, what's going to happen, and then take the shot.
Yeah, the only mistake I see people making on this particular thing is trying to blast it like full overpower through that.
Yeah, like I just did. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. And then a lot of people, they put like 2 or 3 or 4 bars of right curl, hoping to kind of miss going left and getting stuck behind the trees, and all they do is get stuck in the crap in the middle.
You know, Lenny, it may be at first, if you want to get really good, yeah, it's like play, but I actually don't play that much these days. I play on stream, but that's about like the extent that you guys...
I'm gonna do my little adjustment. It's 10, okay, and it's full power, so I'm gonna actually adjust this like about 3 cups out. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 5.5, 9.9. Oops, I graded it. It's too far out. But that one right there, like if I had just aimed it at the hole and done a straight mile an hour adjustment, I would have missed like 2 or 3 cups to the right.
It's an uphill one too. But Lenny, like what I was saying is a lot of what I do is I don't play all that much these days. Most of my playing is done on stream, and that's probably about the extent of it. I do a little bit here and there. But yeah, I used to play a lot, and then all of it started to kind of click at some point. One of the things you already saw that I was basically min. One of the things I always do, even though this is an uphill shot, I'm going to do a max adjustment here, and that has to do with when you've put full backspin on it. The second bounce is severe,
Love you very much.
and it gets affected by the wind quite a bit.
Nice shot.
Thanks, man. So even though that we were at min, even though that was uphill, I still played a full adjustment, and it worked out. Thanks, Ollie. Yeah, basically what Ollie was mentioning or alluding to, the fact that he was alluding to earlier, and that had something to do with when you're going to get a bounce that's like severely affected by the wind. And I'm going to show you on this hole how to look for that.
Let's see, I have not played this one since, like, I did it in the tournament, but I have not.
Yeah, I would say, Lenny, almost in general, the only exception to that rule is if you are at absolute min range. I would definitely go ahead and just play max wind if you're doing a full backspin shot. And that doesn't matter what club you're using. The full backspin shots are crazy. They're probably the hardest to learn, the easiest to screw up. Let's see if I can show you on this shot. I'm going to try and get a shot here where I can show you what I mean. I don't know if I can. I'm just going to go for this, if I can grab my ball.
Sorry for the crappy shot. I've been tucking my daughter in to sleep.
Oh, I got you. Wow, okay, lag. Thanks. Didn't even matter, look at that. Geoffrey, are you saying something?
Yeah, I was talking to my wife.
Oh.
Sorry, there's a guy that basically said something anti-vaping, and I don't have that shit in my house. Okay, I'm gonna rough bump this. I'm gonna rough bump it. I don't know how far I am out though, because if I mess it up, go about maybe like right here. And go about right here and to the right. Oops.
Ah, I hate the bunker. Screw the bunker.
That wasn't that bad.
Geoffrey, let me intentionally show them, try and show them something, okay?
Yeah, we can mess around on this one. Quick question for anybody watching. Who would like to get better at tournament preparation?
Thanks, George. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I've gotten a lot of positive feedback on these types of streams. I think it's excellent to be able to, because it helps us too, to be honest with you. When you guys ask questions, there's things that we haven't thought about that trying to find out the answer is just as helpful as asking the question. Okay, so what I was going to talk about is there's a couple different things. One is let's see. Okay, so if you hit right here, you can see the down. You can see the ball guide jump. This is what he was talking about, where you're trying to find the severity of your second bounce. Also, when you throw on backspin, watch as I throw on backspin. Second bounce gets higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. So the severity at which the wind is going to affect this shot is quite a bit. No, I didn't line that up or anything. Oh, crap. I gotta go back inside. Are you still there, Geoffrey?
Oh, I'm still here. I was just listening to you. That's a really good point on the second bounce. As you scoot your backspin, you notice that the bounce line, like the ball guide, it actually gets closer together, of course, but the bounce gets higher. So, but does anybody here struggling with preparing for tournament? I know we just finished one, and I hope everybody did well, but if you didn't do as good as you were hoping to do, how do you prepare for a tournament properly?
Okay, we lost people because the stream went down for a second, so... It's back. Sorry. This is a crappy wind.
Yeah, really crappy. I've got a football, dude.
Okay, I'm going to explain this shot after I take it. I hit it great, though.
You'll be just fine.
Okay, so like with that shot, a lot of things just happened that I had to think about. The severity at which that 14... Okay, so one of the things... The severity at which that 14 mile an hour wind is going to crunch his ball guide is going to be huge. Just massive. Also, the weird thing about headwinds and side spin... I think this is going to be short left. Sorry, Geoffrey. So that crunching... Yeah, there's nothing... There's really nothing he could have done in that situation with that kind of a ball. But the weird thing that happens with headwinds and side spin is headwinds amplify side spin. And it has to do with as the ball guide's getting crunched, it's still getting spun. So the side spin is amplified, if that makes any sense. No bomb at wind. I always play this relatively safely when there's headwind. Oops.
I'm trying to use footballs so I can use them up. And you're using kingmakers and kicking the crap out of them.
Are you? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'll stop using kingmakers.
Well, you're just like, well, as you can see, I've got an 8 mile an hour wind, so I'm going to do this and this. I'm like, great, my wind is 72. Jackass.
Go with one of your royal balls again, and try to bomb it.
I don't have any royal balls.
Not royal. Whatever, roulette balls.
Hang on. I'm gonna use this one.
What's up, Tim? Welcome, man. I don't know how many people we have in here because I went outside and killed my stream for a second. It's going well.
Should be okay.
Should we talk about dunking at all? Does anybody want to hear about dunking? Geoffrey, you don't really... Do you...
You can try to dunk all you want.
You hate it. Okay, I was going to ask you that. Okay, so one of the things that I think is a prime example of showing how... So normally I would over-adjust a full backspin shot, right? Now what we get into is a shot that is it's not max. It's probably about min distance or medium distance. It's tailwind, so I'm going to place my ball at the bottom of the cup. And then I'm going to do an adjustment with this being at min or mid. I'm going to do an adjustment for about 7 and a little extra. And I came in hot on the hole and did exactly what I said is really easy to do with tailwind.
That's why I don't dunk.
Tailwind dunking is terrifying. Usually that happens most of the time. It's really easy to get that to happen. But what that showed was, like when we're doing adjustments with full backspin shots, we're actually over adjusting them severely. Geoffrey, I don't play his way, but I really like how he plays in that he makes a micro adjustment before he takes the shot rather than making a micro, or rather than just over adjusting. Probably what he does is probably better practice. That's kind of why I like streaming with him, because he shows a different play style that I don't have. That would have been probably in. I think it would have been in, yeah.
That would have gone in if it was perfect.
Oh no.
What, like you're not going to hit it perfect?
I hate putting.
like you're not going to make that putt. Shut up.
I hate putting.
Mr. friggin' 4 aces in your weekend round or whatever the hell it was. You're just like, I'm just going to try to get it up there, you know, put it where I can putt it. And you're like, oh, it's in the hole. Again. You freaking whoopsed a 27 under.
Whoops to 27 under?
Yep.
Okay, this is an awesome hole. Not with this type of wind, though.
Everybody listen to Spencer, because he's going to win this one.
Okay, so I'm going to play this with almost full backspin. No, I'm not quite full. Okay, so I'm going to play it right here, intending to hit right here. I'm assuming that 8.8 is going to carry me all the way to where I need to go. And it didn't. I didn't hit where I intended to hit. That's why it got so screwy.
You may not have a chance.
Yeah, you have a chance.
No, this one carries a little funny, in my opinion.
Oh no, god dang it. I did it again. I think I've done this every single time that we've done this stream. I have pulled my battery out. Alright guys, I'll be back to the chat in a little while here. It's just going to take me a bit to get back to it. But keep asking your questions. I will, or if there are any more questions, I will come back to them as I get my computer to go back on. one of the things I'm gonna go ahead and go for this. One of the things that's weird about this shot is the second you drop over this cliff, weird wind adjustments start happening. So as best I can, I'm going to try to avoid that. That's why they are not easy. This shot is not easy. Whenever you drop over this side, you're in trouble. I'm going to have to play this with quite a bit of topspin, which normally with a tailwind is quite dangerous to do. And then I'm going to try and play it as best I can without dropping over this side. I think that's partially a game error. It doesn't act totally like real physics. I expect this to probably be, yeah. So what happened was the second I dropped over that side, some weird wind stuff started happening. That's just something that this game specifically does. I don't know if in real physics that actually would happen. I don't think it would. But that's why if you are playing this tour, I would suggest highly not to go for this shot with side wind. It's going to be another few minutes before I get back to that grate might actually help. So a lot of weird things happen on this hole. I'm going to assume that this is another thing where we're going downhill. You can see that slightly right here. It's not a severely downhill shot, so it shouldn't be that much affected by the wind. We also got that little cliff. I'm going to try another dunk here just to see what happens. Another actually probably 75% of max, so decent. I'm going to do probably close to a full adjustment here. Leave it at the bottom of the cup. I don't expect you to try the dunking aspect of what we're doing today, but this at least does show. I hit it great. Otherwise, that'd have been pretty darn good. That at least does show how wind adjustments actually work. When you're adjusting in high winds, most of the time you're over adjusting. Because when you're doing a dunk, you're trying to hit a precise shot, which actually changes your adjustment completely. I'm coming back to chat now. It'll probably take me another minute. So we'll see how Geoffrey takes this shot. I would say that the reason this actually is probably a really smart way to play it. I'm going to go ahead and play this the conventional way. Mainly that's because most people are going to play it that way. Hopefully I can get Geoffrey back on the phone here. That's going to turn out really nice. Okay, so the conventional way is this side. Most of the time to get this really close, you need full side spin to do this shot. I'm going to play it, so with tailwind, I'd play it right about there. With 3 backspin, with headwind, I'm going to play it right about there with 2 backspin. If the severity of the headwind was even worse than this, I would go ahead and throw on even less spin. And you really don't need all that much curl on this hole. That's the common misconception with this hole, is the side spin is more important than the curl. And it just has to do with how you come around this little loop. Okay, I'm getting Geoffrey back on the phone now. All right, you there, man? Geoffrey? Geoffrey?
Yep.
All right, there you are. Sorry about that. I pulled the battery again like I usually do.
Okay. Is the stream up and okay?
Oh, yeah. No, the stream's on my phone, so it doesn't really matter. Tim's been answering. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate you answering questions while we were out.
Tim and I had quite the battle the other day.
Yeah, he was telling me. That was what Tim was telling me, man. That's awesome.
Okay, you ready?
Yep. This is going to be scary as shit.
Yep, pretty much. Come on, rotate. I don't know if this is going to be on or not.
Oh, that was so close, too.
Because it goes off a cliff, the rotation is
Different.
you think you're doing 20 rings, which is the adjustment, but you really need to visually adjust for like 15.
I don't know if I'm capable of doing this or not.
And you try it. Just remember, whatever your full hook adjustment is, you got to take like 4 rings off for that hill. Be okay. Yeah, there you go. Because that throws you way up there. Because I did that one time and landed perfect.
Did
and
you?
I jumped the bunker that you were behind, yeah. Here, I'll try it again.
Are you going to do it with the same, the Yeah, that should work this time. You didn't have to go off that says severely off that cliff. Oh, this
one
is
should be okay.
Yeah, that one should be sweet. Holy crap. That is awesome.
Yeah, see, I did that and I had tailwind too, and I actually jumped the bunker and ended up like right in between that bunker and the rough, right at the edge. So it was a simple chip.
Okay, so let's just take a normal shot here. which is really hard to do. If you see the inconsistencies of this, I look and try and find something. The most consistent point that I've found so far is right here. So I'm going to try and hit that spot when I take this shot. My second bounce is relatively high, so I'm assuming that the spin out is not like the way. I'm assuming this is going to be short, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Hit it great. It was not short. It was perfect.
It was a good shot. Let's see my distance on this.
Okay, so Geoffrey, I think we'll do probably about 2 or 3 more. Sound good to you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, Ollie, George, what is your question about the ball kicking right? Oh man, that was nice.
Let's go to shootout.
Thanks, Jeremy. Oh, I see. Geoffrey, he was asking, why does the ball kick right on that hook shot?
Why does the ball kick right?
I don't know if it kicks right a little bit, probably because of where you're hitting on the slope of the.
No, that like the terrain where
Yeah.
I landed the ball is really wishy-washy. There's a ridge that runs right down the middle, and if you land on the right side of the ridge, it kicks right, and if you land on the left side of the ridge, it kicks left. Like if you zoom in on that particular spot, there's a ridge that runs right down the middle of it. I can do it. So I'm going to go right here. I'm going to go 2 down.
4 to the. Okay, so with Jeff, I'm going to explain your shot or what I think. So like normally Geoffrey wouldn't use that much right spin, but with this severe, well, not severe, but decently severe 9 mile an hour wind shoving the ball to the left, he put more side spin on the ball to try and keep himself high. And look, he's even going to curl. Let's see. I still think this will turn out just fine. And you can see how the 9 mile an hour shoved the crap out of that ball.
Yeah. But you have to do the right curl to offset it a bit, and it'll get it. Like, the goal is not to land on the green like I did, because that rolled a little higher than I wanted. It still turned out okay, but the goal is to have it actually land in that darker grass fairway on the right, and it'll bleed onto the green. And if it bleeds onto the green, that whole slope feeds it directly to the hole.
Yes, he also did a full adjustment. You did a full adjustment just now, didn't you, Geoffrey?
Yeah, I did.
That has to do with this hole. This hole is funky, and as I'm pulling downhill, I'm still going to do a full adjustment.
Yeah. I always do a full adjustment. Always.
I hit it great, though.
Oh, you'll still beat me.
Get in the hole! Get in the hole!
I came in too far left.
Get in the hole!
It tried to stop. You see that?
It tried to. It tried to.
Oh, it's going to take me till next Thursday to get my Tour 10 trophies back.
Tour 10 blows, dude.
But, you want to take a minute and talk about tournament prep?
Yeah, I'm interested to see, I like, does anybody want to hear about tournament prep? And, like, I honestly am more interested to see what your guys' what you guys do to prepare yourselves for a tournament. This is another one where whenever you're trying to hit these islands, if you have to adjust anywhere off the side, I would not go for the island. Luckily, we've got a good wind here that we can just bomb the crap out of it with. So some people say they watch streams to prepare.
I mean, watching streams to prepare so that you can take notes from some of the top players, I understand that, but is there anybody that takes excessive notes, detailed notes, like...
Shit.
That's always what I would recommend, you know?
You don't even need that ball.
What?
You don't even need that ball if you don't want to use it.
I'm gonna use it. So 12, 9 is 9. Hopefully it's okay. Or it's stupid long.
Stupid long. That sucks.
It's whatever, dude. It's my night. But yeah, no, I go for a shot, and then I write down.
Nice lag.
What club I use. I write what club I use, what ball I use, my top spin, my side spins, and my exact adjustments. So before I even go to a hole, I look at what hole I'm on, what shot I need to hit, and I already know exactly what my setup is going to be before I even get there. I don't know if this one's going to clear.
I don't know if it is either.
I'll go for it.
I think it will.
Why not? It cleared.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, so don't make this.
No, I won't.
This is a shot that I want to show people.
Yeah, no, I won't.
This is the hole I was talking about earlier. If you hit the island, then your next shot is like severely downhill. So your ball stays in the air for a long time. So I actually add about 50% to my adjustment. See, so I'm going to adjust this to be, I don't want to play that fringe, so I'm going to adjust this to go to the hole like this. But then instead of just 11.8, I'm going to go about 15. Well, let's go like 14.
Since it's tailwind, yeah, I agree.
So even though it was 11.8, I just adjusted 14, and
Oh,
look
that's
what that did.
way. Yeah, look at that. It's
You know what I
crazy.
mean? So that's why I'm saying you have to significantly alter your approach.
And that's the severity of downhill. So a lot of people
Yeah.
were asking. A lot of people were asking that question.
They're asking what?
A lot of people were asking questions about downhill and how we choose how much extra to do. And a lot of it is just like when you see trying to figure out exactly how much that is a lot of dependent upon like what type of wind it is, what situation you're in, how severely downhill the shot is. That one is quite a bit extra.
Yeah, that shot, I had tailwind at 11.8. To land it where I wanted to, I'd probably have to adjust it. Um, 18.
Oh, this is my most favorite wind. And this can be done. I'm going to do it with the spin of a Thor's Hammer 5. So this is exactly the spin of a Thor's Hammer 5. I'm going to place it right here. And then here's the interesting thing. This is all about like how wind affects the second mounts and stuff. I'm going to do basically a normal adjustment here. Hit it perfect.
But if anybody saw where his ball was,
it was nowhere near where, like, now that wind shoved it all the way to the hole.
It looks like you're gonna land like 30 feet left of the hole.
Left and past it too. Normally that would be without a headwind. That would have looked like that was going to go past the hole.
How many down did you do?
I did.
Five or six?
No, I did your full. I did your full. That works. Yeah, that works.
My third. That should be fine. I'm going to put it about right here. I'm going to adjust the full 13.3, which is 9.5 rings. And it should feed it more to the hole.
Yeah, look at that. Look at how severe that was with your 13.
Yeah. Bro, I've got to win like 8, 2, or 10 games.
All right. This will be the last one. Thanks, Ollie.
Yeah, no, 2 or 10. I hate it. I think it's the worst tour in the game.
It is the worst tour in the game. Here, I'll start using a normal ball. There is literally no reason to go for this shot, so I'm going to do it.
I use like 3.5, bro.
Yeah, I think you're right. I clipped it great. That sucks.
That'll be okay.
It'll work. That's the smarter way to play it, is right there.
Yeah. A lot of people put on too much topspin. Sit. Oh, see?
What? Yeah, see, there's no real reason to take that shot.
Well, it ain't bad if you have a rough shot from that distance.
Okay, so I am pretty much screwed here. So a lot of like what I was saying before, a lot of mistakes. Oh. I'm gonna take this shot just without.
Well, at least the good people of Golf Clash Land learned something from you tonight.
Oh, come on. I don't think that's the case. I think that you had plenty to say.
Oh, plenty to say, yes. Let's see here. So I'm gonna go here.
Hey, it serves you right, man. You kicked my ass the last time we played.
No. Hang on. I'm gonna try that curl thing that he was talking about. Okay. So I'm gonna go 12, which is like out here. Okay. So I'm gonna go into overpower, and I'm gonna curl it right there. All right, hit it good. That sucks. See, if I had hit that perfect, it probably would have just kind of played that little curve there. But it's whatever.
Here, will you miss the shot so I can go for the dunk?
Yeah.
Yeah, the level 7 off-roader is a great club.
Yeah, dude, maxed off-roader is sick. Yeah, so you see this? If I go here, it's at the hole. If I go down on that bump, you see that? Don't land your ball there. You want to land it here, and then just, you don't ever want to do anything like that. So I'll just... Oh, man, I hit great.
Thank God.
Yeah, don't ever play the fringe, ever. Land before it or after it. Do not land on the edge of the fringes or on the fringe. It's too inconsistent. It's not worth it.
Okay, so these are a lot done by feel. We're not very far here. The ball guide does go pretty high though. So, and it's only 6.3. I'm gonna play it towards the bottom of the cup so I don't hit the pin. And 6.3 should be just outside right there. Actually, that might be too much. It was all right. Actually, that was perfect.
Yep. Just right. There's a lot of shots that I normally would not go for.
Okay, let's see. We finally got this hole again, so I can see if I can get this to be correct. So with tailwind, I'll only go with 2 and 3. I always play it this way. I'll go with 2 and a little extra. I always play this up here so that you're trying to ride that as long as you can. That's the idea of this. You're trying to ride this little slope as long as you can. This is going to be really hard because I can't see where I'm adjusting. I should have flipped the camera the other way.
It'll be okay.
I hit it great though. That's not good. Nope. Hit it way too high. Came in wrong. I didn't hit that little slope to get me a kick, which that's why that didn't work out.
So I play this entirely differently. I bang it off that slope. I go like 5 right and 1 up. And I try to play it like right here. So I'm going to adjust my 7.7. I'm going to go right here.
Yeah, you try and ride that. You try and ride it totally differently than I do. But that worked out nicely.
Yeah, that's how I play that one, because it always kind of feeds inside that little 2-yard circle there.
Well, Geoffrey, I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody that joined and asked questions. Hopefully we answered some of them. Geoffrey, do you have anything to say to them before we go?
No. I'm down to keep playing. I mean, I love it. It's always fun.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna kill it here, but I'm looking forward to next Sunday. Think about any questions you guys want to ask for the future. Like I said, I'm also going to try and host different people on my channel and this and that, but me and Geoffrey will continue to do this on Sundays. So yeah, I think that's it. Geoffrey, thanks, man.
We really want to cover a lot of good topics, and then kind of like I want to structure it in such a way so that we can tell people, hey, this particular stream has these questions and these answers, so that we can do 3, 4, 5 of these, and then when people ask the questions, we can just refer them to the stream that has that question and answer. I think it would just make it kind of good for everybody, and it'd be a great reference point. So just kind of keep that in mind, and watch for my post in Elite. If you search my name, Geoffrey, spelled Geoffrey, just search me, and it should pop up with the thread with the picture of Spencer and me. Click on that, and you can ask your question in the comments.
All right. Well, that sounds good to me, man. I appreciate it.
Cool, dude.
All right, guys. I appreciate it. We will see you guys on the next stream. Hope everybody has a good night.